Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to the episode 3 on connecting with Gunnar Habitz. My name is Sam Lee, and I'm the founder of Connect with Confidence, and I'm the interviewee. So welcome, Gunnars. How have you been?
Good, fine, all good. Thanks for being on the show.
Sorry, what did you say?
Thanks for being on the show.
Oh yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming to experience the interview. So, how was your weekend? What did you do?
So that was a weekend where I went to the south coast, to go to Huskisson to explore nice places, great weather. It was a good one.
Oh, that's great. So you went down, we went south.
Yes, by
Oh,
train and then staying with friends. So that was very good. Enjoyed that.
yeah, it's good. It's always good to get away from work, to have a getaway. And was it kind of like a road trip kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
The first time since the lockdown to go really far out. Haven't been out about beforehand.
Yeah, actually yesterday was a very good weather for going out to experience, yeah, the nature. So yeah, so tell me about yourself, Gunnar.
Yeah, happy to do. So then I'm in Australia for 4 years. I came 2016 after a corporate redundancy that I had in Europe. Before, and I've been in my home country in Switzerland. I've been working in Germany, Czech Republic, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I explored Australia and New Zealand 4 years ago and decided the lifestyle here suits very well. And then I came over and started working in different roles and positions, always related to the IT and in partnership sales.
Oh, great. That's a good nutshell. Also, did you say you mentioned you're from Switzerland?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That was the question I was going to ask you, like where you're from.
Yeah.
Because you've got
Yeah,
the
I moved over from my Swiss home in Zurich.
yeah. It's because yeah, I was curious where you're from, but I think you've got kind of like a European accent in a way.
Yeah, sorry for that. We'll never get rid of it.
Yeah. So how's Switzerland over there? I heard it's a pretty nice place over there. Like everything's very like not political, they're very neutral in a lot of politics in a way.
Yeah, I mean, Switzerland is kind of an island within the European Union, a very beautiful place with all of the mountains and all the lakes, lots of things to do. The people here are more open in Australia, I must say, and also New Zealand. So it's a bit of a difference.
Mm. Yeah, like I would like to travel to Switzerland sometime. It sounds pretty good. And yeah, I just heard a lot of stories about the banks in Switzerland, people banking in Switzerland and things like that. Why is that? What's the reason why a lot of people talk about Switzerland and banks?
Oh, well, initially, the banking and insurance sector, that grew quite a lot, in particular over the last 60, 70 years, and it kept itself quite isolated without the need to be integrated too much into the European business. And that was good, that kept a unique place. Also, Switzerland is one of the very few places in the world where you can rent land for a conference to declare this as neutral, so that two different type of people or countries representatives can then meet over there on a neutral place.
That's great. That's great. And do Switzerland have their own language, or they speak a bit of English as well?
Let's say we have about 6 languages.
Oh, 6 languages. Wow.
Officially it's 4. It's German, majority, then French, Italian. Then we have our own language, Rätoromanic, which is in some of the mountains on the eastern side. Many people also understand and speak High German, which is different from Swiss German, and then English as a business language.
English as a business language.
Yeah, wow. Not as an official one, but at least in business, of course, you can speak it.
Wow, that's very good. So you learned your English in Australia in your 4 years?
No, in school, and then later in New Zealand 20 years ago, and then of course fine-tuned it over here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you went to New Zealand first, then you went to Sydney. So how you fitting into Australia, Sydney? What are your thoughts of Sydney?
Yeah, I really like to be here. Particularly Sydney is a nice place. When you see behind me the Opera House is of course a beautiful area to look at. I came to Sydney on a cruise ship in better times, so to say, when that was rather normal to have ships that go into Circular Quay. That was my first visit during a vacation. And then later I came for 2 months to study at the Australian Institute of Management.
Yeah, cool.
That was a good one. There were a couple of courses regards to networking, for example.
Okay.
So when I met with people from all walk of life, instead of just those in the same business what I've had before all of my life.
Interesting. Yeah, I like your photo actually. Did you take it yourself or you?
Yes, so that's mine, but it's not at the moment. So it was last week earlier.
That's very good. I like the Opera House. Yeah, it's always a good iconic figure in that's Australia. So, oh yeah, so you went to the college, studied for 2 months. Did you say 2 years or 2 months?
2 months. 2 months. I've sitting some courses at the Australian Institute of Management, which is a very well regarded institution. And later I put the learning into practice to obtain my advanced diploma of leadership and management.
Okay. And you mentioned about you studied about networking.
Yeah, part of the curriculum was all about networking, and that's when I came to Sydney without knowing anyone. I realized that networking, being open, not necessarily to talk too much about myself, but being open and a curious listener helps to find out how it is to live here, to work here, to engage with others, to learn about the country. And that was very, very important topic.
That's great. I like your insight because basically what I do is, especially people who just recently come to Australia, I teach them effective networking skills so they can build better rapport with their counterparts. So if they're in business, how to build better, like how to socialize better with clients, their partners, associates, and whoever they're related to, and as well as fitting in into the culture and basically building a huge network. And yeah, I guess. When I heard about your name, like I've heard your name from everywhere, like I met some people already, and then they talked about you in the interview. So yeah, why not interview you? Because I heard a lot about you. It's really about how you made it through your journey, how did you get your name out there, and yeah, like I'm very curious about who you are. So I interviewed you. So I know you're a very great man, a great person of influence. So yeah, I'm really happy to have a talk with you and see how it goes. And it seems that you're very easy to network with, easy to connect with, so which is good. So
I actually also enjoy to attend networking events. I mean, there was not too much over the last 3 months, logically, but beforehand there were a couple of possibilities. For example, I attended a range of meetup groups back then when I came for my study time. But I continue doing so. I run my own meetup events as well. So that's one way how to get very close to learn more about the place and about the people. I went to other networking events. For example, the Australian Institute of Management had the attempt to do the largest ever worldwide networking event. They had people from the Guinness Book of Records to test and find out and count the people. It was just below the world records. We didn't make it, but it was a great approach to get into speed networking. Out of this one, I built a huge range of relationships over the time, which I can now use.
Interesting. That's great. Yeah, so it's very interesting insight. So actually, what do you actually like doing? What do you like to do outside of work? Like, what's your hobbies and things like that?
So I'm a passionate traveler. So I like to travel. So in the nearly 4 years in Australia, we have seen a lot of it. We've been in every state, but not in every place, of course. There's so much to see. I heard when you would like to see every beach in the whole Australia, one beach per day, then you have 27 years to do so. It's so much to see. So the traveling is for surely one of them. Writing is another one. So I also contributed to a couple of books since I'm here and published my own books earlier in Germany as well. So writing is a big part of it as well. Yeah.
That's great. You're a fellow author because I wrote 2 books as well. So in the near future, probably another one, and that's it. Because writing is not easy. So how many books have you published so far?
It's July now. It's 20, and number 21 comes out in August.
Wow, nice. And what do you write about?
18 of them are tour guide books, like Lonely Planet, but from different publishers in Germany. Yep. So tour guide books, travel books around either capturing parts of the world or Europe where I'm a co-author, or most of them are just my books, like a Lonely Planet type of a tour guide book covering countries like my home in Switzerland or Czech Republic, Germany, places of Europe, cities of there. I've been a traveler ever since. So then I had the chance to write about it and research in detail.
That's great. So you say you like writing, you like traveling. So have you traveled the world or?
Yeah, a part of it, small part of it, 62 countries I counted recently.
62, wow. So how much?
It's less than a third, so it's not that much. But at least it was a nice variety.
Yeah, it's good to travel. Like if I had the opportunity, I would travel younger so I can like enjoy the energy, enjoy the fight. So it's really different when you mature and you don't have that young energy, like that adrenaline in you when you travel to things.
Yeah.
But still good, just still good. So yeah, like I just recently started traveling as well. So before I was like just because I'm born in Hong Kong, I just travel from Sydney to Hong Kong, Sydney to Hong Kong. That's pretty much what I do. But now, I just like, okay, I'm getting a little bit bored of Hong Kong, but it's time to travel to other places. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to travel to Europe because I've been traveling to a lot of Asian countries. Have you been to Asia a lot, Gunnar?
Yeah, not too much. Surely Australia, New Zealand a couple of times. Some of the islands like Norfolk or Vanuatu as well. And Thailand, Bhutan, Japan, Hong Kong, with a lot of room for more.
Yeah, totally. And how frequent do you travel? Like just a picture COVID now. How much do you travel per year?
So then when you take out the COVID, normally per year, I would go maybe every second month somewhere, at least here in Australia.
Every second month.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes to flying to Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, and then I would, from an overseas point of view, when I've been living in Europe, in Switzerland, traveling was more easy. You sit and at 5 p.m. you talk about to a friend who said, let's go for dinner. Where we go? We go to Austria. Then you drive to Austria. Okay, we've had dinner. Where we go for a dessert? We can go to Germany. So then that was normal to travel more countries. Here it's not that obvious and not that easy. You need to plan it more. So then need to be good plans. But there's a couple of countries where I haven't been, particularly in Asia Pacific. So that it would make sense to go there. And one of the most far away destinations where I would love to go one day would be Pitcairn Island. Pitcairn is very far out because since we've been to Norfolk Island, which is closer to New Zealand than to Australia, then when you learn about the story of the mutineers of the Bounty, then you realize that Pitcairn is the initial place where they went, and that is much more east. But it's hard to get there.
That's great. So you like sightseeing in general, right? Like you like going to like heritage sites or like places with a nice view. Are you that kind of person?
Yeah, indeed. So I like the architecture, particularly from a historical point of view. So then, therefore, when I went to Tasmania, of course, I went to places like Richmond, for example, and Ross and so on. So those places which built the heritage of Australia. Sydney is the oldest city that we have in Australia. So there's so many of historical heritage sites, and that's what I like to see a lot. But when you travel across the country, particularly on the coastline, go to Great Ocean Road, for example, then the stunning views, of course, they're great.
Good. Yeah, I've been there. It's actually very nice, especially for a drive, like hire a car and just drive through the road. So I actually like driving to scenic places because it's very good.
Yes, and for the fact that I've been driving in Europe by car everywhere, every day, I'm happy that I'm a walker here in Sydney. I can take public transport, no need to have a car when I'm working in the CBD and living opposite of it. So then going by ferry is just awesome. So I would hire a car for a trip, but normally I chose not to own one.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what would you say is the best place you've visited, like the best country you've visited so far?
So my favorite would be Bhutan in the Himalayas.
Himalayas. Oh, okay. Why is that?
For sure, Bhutan, because it's a world in its own without visible globalization. And we as tourists, we are just spectators, which are allowed, but it works by itself. And it counts as the most happy place on earth.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Interesting.
Bhutan is it's a very, very nice place to go.
So the people there are very friendly. The locals
Yes,
are.
very friendly, and also it looks like it might have looked 100 years ago. Maybe a few cars you see here and there, but it's very much natural.
Wow, interesting. That's great. That's great. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So it's great to get to know you a bit more. I know you like traveling, you like writing. That's very good. And it's really all about experiences throughout your life. It's great. It sounds like you, uh, yeah, living the life through working and then traveling, which is good. So tell me a bit about your current business, Gunnar.
Yeah, so I am in the IT business, so I've spent a lot of time in different IT providers, typically on either hardware or software side. So now I'm in social media management software at Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a Canadian software vendor and actually the leading social media management software, which has been founded in 2008 at the time of the GFC actually. So these type of difficult periods can often lead into the creation and foundation of great companies. And that is the case with Hootsuite. I joined in the pandemic in April, and I'm looking after partnerships with Hootsuite. So I'm working with companies like Adobe and others to combine their solutions with our leading social media management platform.
Mm, that's great. So, what's your role? Like, what do you what's your main?
Yeah, I'm related into the sales department, so to say, but it's partnerships. So I don't sell directly, but I build partnerships with alliances. I talk to companies like LinkedIn or Google or Facebook and the likes.
That's great. Yeah, it's just booming like the digital industry. Like it's just everyone's using social media, and then yeah, to gain profit. Like the clients is just everywhere very very abundant in social media.
Yeah, and what we learned from it also since the pandemic started, statistic from at least from the US, that about 62% of all US people are consuming their news out of social media, not out of the regular ways like newspapers. And
Mm,
that is good. That
mm,
shows already that social media is here to stay. So from a strategic point of view, it's important. But of course, it needs to be managed well. It's
mm.
not just posting something and that's it.
Yeah, very sure.
And the social media also has a very important role in society to get discussions running very well.
Mm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just like what you said. It's very true. It's not just about posting. You need to make it engaging. You need to be getting a lot of views. So it's really about the attention that you get, the bias. So it's very good.
In,
So
in, that, in that sense, I am blogging on LinkedIn every Monday about the topic social selling, which is actually turning conversations that happening on social media, turning into close business.
interesting. That's great. So have you? So you've been IT. You have an IT background, right?
Yeah, I'm a software developer by trade.
Okay, that's great. Software is great money. Actually,
That's what I thought back then as well. But of course, when you think someone who grew up more as a shy introvert person like myself back then, it was obvious you would like to hide yourself behind a monitor to program. It's more like individualist back then. But in the meantime, software development is part of teams. You don't do everything by yourself. It changed a lot.
mm, okay, that's great. And you mentioned you just started not long ago, like 3 months and a bit before. Did you
Yeah.
say? And what were you doing beforehand? Like what roles?
Beforehand, I've been 1.5 years at a software vendor called Noggin. Noggin is the English word for the head, and that is software for risk management and emergency management, typically used for bushfires and for COVID-19, so that organizations can manage their risk and their disruptions accordingly based on the regulations that they have to comply with, but also that they have certain plans for business continuity when something happening like now or like the bushfire season, that they know what to do, that they have every information at their fingertip and decisions can decide faster and manage their risk smarter.
That's great. Nice. It's very nice to be knowing what you're doing. And yeah, so I heard you had a side hustle kind of business kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm doing or have been doing all the way in my IT career was the travel writing.
travel
It
writing?
was for me an interesting point that I could take my passion for traveling and my writing to put it together. But of course, these days there's not that many tour guides books which are written. So then I moved from that further into blogging, and I'm blogging about sales, leadership topics. I'm also at the Institute of Managers and Leaders, which is the membership arm of what used to be the Australian Institute of Management. So I have a couple of activities over there. I'm mentoring the next generation of leaders. So that all is coming together, and I do a little bit of consulting when it comes to social selling as well.
Cool. Let me know if you need any help. Actually, like yeah, it's good to get into those, yeah, like those top-notch things. So, yeah, so you mentioned that you are an introvert, and I'm very curious because I actually teach people like they're shy, they're nervous, they're introverted, and they lack confidence when it comes to connecting with people. And I see that you're very different in a way. Like you're an introvert, but then your skills, like your talking skills, your communication skills are pretty good. So what's the secret behind that?
Yeah, the interesting thing, in school, I've been rather a shy and quiet person,
Yeah.
with the exception of subjects like in mathematics where talking never counted for anything. But otherwise, I've been more shy, not so sure what to say, if it really counts. So the others may have been better around me. And it took me quite a while to get the motivation for public speaking course, because that's the time when I moved into politics. Because as soon as you are able to vote, I thought it might be interesting to find out how the whole political system worked. And I became, let's say, yeah, I had a role to write about it for a political party when I've been young. That was good. But then I moved into, they elected me as their local head for their council area back then. So then I had to learn how to speak, which needed some kind of confidence, what I had to gain. At the same time, it was the university time, I also started to use my travel passion to escort tourists from Hamburg in Germany to London, to Venice, to Prague, to Amsterdam, to Rome, to many places. And then working as a tour guide, I learned to use the microphone. And that was, for me, the big approach to get a role where people apparently, so my clients apparently saw that the tour operator has chosen me as someone who knows the place. London was my first city to talk about, and I knew London quite well. So therefore, they gave me also this type of pre-trust, which normally I thought as an introvert, I first need to earn by myself. But I had this role as a tour guide that helped me to overcome the fear of getting to the microphone and speak in front of them. So apparently, as I knew London in a certain way, and I could teach the people where to go shopping, where to go for good food, then they had the feeling, I know what I'm talking about. And that helped me to get out of this negative spiral of always being a shy person and I didn't feel confident to talk. That was a good point.
That's good. So I guess you just got put on the spot when you were doing your job.
Yeah, the only thing, the really trigger, that was a very funny one. After three, let's say, small trips on the weekend on learning on it from someone, then I thought, let's also do 5 days just to explore the place more, but not in charge, just only to be there, to learn how it is with checking in hotels in English, all of this one. But the tour operator decided, apparently there will be no other guide, it will be me. And they told me the day before, so I couldn't go back anymore. So then that was really dropping into the water. And so instead of learning just a weekend, then I have been in charge of a whole week of touristic programs with them. And that was good. And later, I think 2 years after this, I took over a destination management for one city, which was Prague in Czech Republic, at that time Czechoslovakia. And that I've been managing this for many, many years. That helped me in getting close to build relationship with local suppliers, learn the language, learn different type of negotiation cultures. And that was a very good start of being more active and more curious in the people to learn from them.
That's great. That's very inspiring, like what you said. Like I really like to hear about stories that change, like yourself from being unconfident to the confident you. And that's how what I do. I like just kind of just help them like fast track to from that lack of confidence in communicating with people to confidence in a way. So yeah, well, and the second last question is, what are some tips and hints that you can recommend to viewers on how you can build rapport with people? Like, how can you build positive relationships with people?
So one of the tips for me is to have to be curious in the other person
Yep, that's good.
and not to assume knowing an answer for what they are saying. So if you would tell me a challenge on your book writing, the traditional stereotype male part of me would immediately suggest you something. You do this, you do this, but I don't know your circumstances. So I should rather open, be a good active listener that helps to build rapport and not necessarily already come with conclusions, because it makes no sense. I can build rapport in order to be close to people. I can share my stories, what helped me, but it doesn't mean it would help you immediately as well. So that's what many people believe when they go to networking events. They talk to someone, they say, oh yeah, I heard this already. Oh, that's how you do this, and you must do this. But if somebody has a problem and is ready to share, which is the first growing out of some situation, they don't need to have very fast solution which might not fit as well. So the best way is rather to take it slowly, follow up with people, what most people don't do when you go to a networking event, connect properly with them, also with social media, and then put some kind of notes there. So for example, when I go to an event, I always have business cards with me. I write on the other side what we discussed so that then I can follow up accordingly. And sometimes this can take a month until I find a kind of a good input for a person that they would like to have.
Great. So thanks for all the tips. So one of it is be curious and as well as yeah, active listening in a way. So yeah, those two traits are very important. Like to be curious about the person. Otherwise, if you're not curious, like you don't want to connect with the person, right? And at the same time, like if you're not listening to their stories, like it's just like yeah, you're not really want to listen to this person at all. So it's really about the skill sets.
And another one was when you go to a network event and you might meet a person that you know, or maybe not even, but you meet new people. One other element is to introduce them to each other.
Go on.
That,
Like,
that helped not only that I could go on, but it helps to find out how others are talking or others are adding their experience on it. Of course, you need to find people who you think it could potentially work together.
yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good one as well. Like just promotes like you're very open to networking and you're a friendly person. You just want to help people to engage with us inside the networking event. That's very good. Cool. Thanks for the hints and tips, Gunnar. And last but not least, how do we find out more about you, your business, yourself? Are you on social media?
Yes,
Tell me
yes.
where you. How we
So I am on particularly on LinkedIn, but also Facebook, Instagram, always with my same name. Gunnar is my first name, Habitz like my last name, which is I think rather unique. But and actually the first name is from Sweden, and the last name is from Morocco. So then it's a very unique combination. So then also I have my own website, gunnarhabitz.com.au. You can add it into the notes for the interview. So then by that you will find it as well. And there I have my blogging topics on it and my books.
All right, cool. Viewers, you know how to get to Gunnar. Later on, I'll be sharing his information, like his how you can find him, his LinkedIn, his Facebook, his website. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this interview, Gunnar. And yeah, you're gonna have a what's your plans this week?
Oh, I will start reading one of the next books. I'm writing book reviews every now and then, every month or so,
Yeah.
to go into the learning of books from other authors. And that's very interesting. Mostly business related books like sales and marketing related.
Cool. Yeah, I remember you dropped me a LinkedIn message to send me my book. The review. That'll be great.
And now I'm looking into one book which is combining sales and marketing from an author called Peter Strohkop. He already for quite a while. Initially came from Germany, and he has an updated version of his book, and that's very good. Looking forward to learn how sales and marketing can work better together.
Sounds good. Okay, cool. Well, that draws the end of this interview. Thanks for thanks for coming, Gunnar. I had a good time with you. And yeah, I'll put this on my YouTube channel as well as the social media outlets that I have. So yeah, have a nice day, Gunnar, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thanks very much for inviting me, and looking forward also to read your book.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Gunnar. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.